This is a Forky Pete video of deer, etc. from October through November 2018. This is a little buck that was in Eagle Valley, and I thought it was kind of a neat shot. And he'll be featured in a video clip later on in the movie. Persons watching this video do so at their own risk. It is suggested that prior to viewing, one takes motion sickness medicine or lies down immediately after viewing. A slight side effect may be a lingering bobblehead effect from trying to follow the camera. Out by the pivots, there's a nice buck and a bunch of does. It's the only deer I've seen on the 3rd of November. He's not a great big buck, but he's a nice mature buck. And he's actually one of the only few bucks I've seen all summer out here. It's not been a very good year for the deer being out here. So, just kind of mosey along. He's got a whole contingent of does with him. So, kind of fun to see on the 3rd of November. Kind of weird this year, November 5th, seeing all these does out here by Dry Valley and not an antler in the bunch. So last year at this time the bucks were starting to yard up with the does, but I looked these over pretty good and I couldn't see any antlers on any of them. So this is just one road that's got all these does on it. I've just started in. I thought maybe that was a buck, but that's just a doe. So, yep, that's the way it is this year. Yeah, this next video clip is of this bull moose that was spotted and videotaped in Elko County in 2015 at Elk Mountain, which is Nevada area 072, and it was east of Jarbidge, so up near the Idaho border. Now this is not very good, but it's from YouTube. It's a video of a video of two bull moose somewhere in northern Nevada, northeastern Nevada, probably Elko County. But one's a pretty good sized adult moose, bull moose, and the other that's with him is a forked horn moose. That's a pretty big forky. So I thought it was a pretty cool video, even though there's a lot of stuff that was probably not necessary. But kind of cool. Nevada moose somewhere up in Elko County, I'm probably guessing, in 2015. So I guess the moose are here to stay. Caliente on the 14th of November. Here's a little forky that's got his left side antler hanging. Looks like he must have broke it off. I don't know if he hit something with it or what. I just thought this was kind of unusual. I'm down here in Caliente looking for a big buck I heard that was here, and I don't know if I'm going to find anything or not. So I just thought I'd get this little guy on video. Well, still no big bucks. This is on the grounds of the youth center, and looks like all I'm seeing is forked horns. They're not too bad looking body-wise. But I was hoping to get them together. I got them together, but the one walked behind the other one. So, well, now they're walking together. So, still looking for a big buck. But this is all I'm getting this morning. Well, if this is him, he's not a great big buck, but he's either a small 4 or 3, maybe on the big screen I'll be able to tell. And he's got a bunch of does with him. This is on the ball field at Rose Park in Caliente. Well, there's another little buck with him, and right now it's just sparring. I guess maybe later on in the rut they'll get serious. Like I said, they're not great big bucks, they're pretty small. There were some real dandies here last year. Maybe later on I'll get a chance to see them. Yeah, I didn't really notice this while I was videotaping, but the little deer to the left is actually a little buck with weird antlers. He's got little flat velvet covered antlers hanging down on both sides of his head. So I thought that was kind of unique. Pretty far away this morning, above Echo on the 19th of November. This is the first really nice buck I've been able to find out in the woods. I'm kind of a lousy hunter, but I know when the rut's on, they start showing up. And he's following the doe now down the ridge. Nice big 4-point. Looks like there's a bunch of does with him. I'm getting some long shots today. This is as close as I can get to this nice buck. Not a great big buck, but he's got a nice high rack. This is about a 3rd or 4th buck I've seen out at Dry Valley this morning. 21st of November. So this is on maximum range. Well, I didn't think I was going to get closer, but he's chasing a doe, and there was a little road right to him. So, and he's kind of going over the hill now. He's got a little doe that's probably in heat. Down the road from the other buck, here's another nice one. He's got a pretty big body on him, and he's got a doe with him. So I knew it. It's the 19th of November, about 7:30 in the morning, and the big guys are starting to show up. He's pretty far out there, so I'm not holding very steady. Well, yeah, there he is. Couldn't get on this guy. That's just the biggest one yet. And the rocks just past the bridge at Echo. He looks like he's a 30-incher. Yeah, that's a dandy buck. I was so excited I couldn't get on him. This is about the 6th or 7th buck I've seen, and there have been 3 really nice ones. He's going out over now. Nice. Well, they were all standing still till I stepped out of my truck. They ran off a little bit, but there's so dang many of these. This is up in Rose Valley, where I usually see deer. So, a bunch of wild horses in here this morning, and there's deer too. Now they're slowly moving away. On the 22nd, here's a nice big buck that ran across in front of me. Second nice buck of the morning at Horsethief Gulch Wash Campground out in Eagle Valley. He's a dandy big old guy. Not with any does, but he's probably going to be looking pretty soon. Going up the bank now. He's pausing to look at me like big old muley. Oh, shoot, I'm getting good video of him. Hey! Oh, gone now. Well, finally turned up a decent buck in Eagle Valley. Or seen, I should say, and now he's hiding behind a tree where I can't see him. Maybe he'll walk out in a minute, I don't know. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, he's following the doe around, nice big 4-point. Yeah, this is the nicest one I've seen seen all summer long. It's funny about the rut. I don't know where these guys hide out during the season, but he's a pretty nice buck. And he's going away following his doe. Another nice buck in Eagle Valley. This one's just up the road from the one I saw about an hour or so ago. Just in a field munching on stuff with his does. Nice bucks. So there's 2 big old bucks in Eagle Valley this morning. Not a great big buck, but a nice little 4-point. Whoops, going now. Yep, he ran. The reason he's running, he's chasing does. So not a great big buck, but it's kind of fun to see him. Here's another buck at about 8:30 in the morning, chasing a doe. He's not a great big buck, but he's a nice mature buck. And these are these are all up in Rose Valley. So I was here during the season and hardly saw anything up here at all. But when the rut's on here, they are. And he's gonna move behind the tree now. Yeah, I've been hoping to get one like this by the side of the road. This is up on a favorite spot I like to go to in Rose Valley. And there's does all around him. I just love to do this. There's so many nice bucks that make it through the season. Yeah. Beautiful, nice big 4-point. So, this is the first nice buck I've seen up in here. There'll be more. He's not too concerned. He's got does all around him. And he's just walking away now. On the way to Cedar City, here's a nice little 3-point buck on the 23rd of November. He just tried to jump this fence. Now he's running away. Well, I might as well video this guy. Him and another Forky were fighting over this little doe. But when I stopped the truck, the one ran off, and this guy's a little bit bigger anyway. Dry Valley on the 24th. This is low light, so I don't know if this is going to turn out. But here's a nice buck, just following along a doe. So he's not a great big buck, but he's a pretty nice one. Yeah, here's one of the lesser bucks. And there's one of the bigger bucks, but that's not the great big one. So, darn, I can't hold steady. I'm shaking in the cold. Well, down above the crossing at Echo, this is a nice little buck that's with a doe. So, afforded me some good video this morning. All the other stuff has been kind of crappy. He looks to be a small 4 or a 3, and he's running away now. Up the road a little bit, here's another little buck in the fields out to Dry Valley from the last buck. They're just small bucks, nothing big this morning. He looks like just a nice 3-point in the field with his does. They've been already going at it for about 5 minutes before I got here. This is my first really big buck battle I've ever seen. I walked right up on them. So I don't know how long they're going to battle, but I thought it was pretty cool. So I'll have to show this to Kathy. You can hear the old antlers rattling and everything. Pretty cool. Yeah, all I usually get is little old forking horns battling away. Whoop. Dang, nice bucks all over. Almost missed this guy. He might have been battling, or these buggers are wearing themselves out chasing does. Just about every buck I seen's got his tongue hanging out. Poor guys. He's a nice one. Going away now. Here's another nice one just down the road a little bit. A little smaller than the last one that I was videoing. They could have been bookend bucks though. There's nice bucks all over this morning. I'm getting good video of them. He's just moving along with his doe. Well, these two nice bucks crossed the road a few minutes ago. I don't know where the other one went. Oh, here he is. Here's the other one. I don't know if they were fighting or what they were doing. They've kind of split now. This is the second one. He's going away. And here's the first one. Two nice bucks at Dry Valley this morning. They may have been fighting, I don't know. They're kind of separated now. Getting a lot of nice bucks this morning in Dry Valley and up above Echo. Nice bucks all over. This one's up in Rose Valley, and he just mows in. All the does are up the hill, and looks like he's the last one to leave the field this morning. So I'll get him leaping the fence here in a minute and heading on up the country. So sure are some nice bucks after the season. Nothing really spectacular, but I've sure seen some. I've probably seen about 6 or 7 the size of this guy this morning. He's kind of taking his time. I don't know, maybe there he goes. Leaping the fence and just slowly walking across the road heading up the country. Not a great big buck, but here's a nice buck just bedded down with his doe in Eagle Valley at about 7:30 in the morning. Oh, he's going to get up now. Hated to disturb his rest, but it was kind of a nice shot. So he's going to move over. There's several does in here. He's going to move away with them now, I think. But there's been nothing but nice bucks this morning. Well, I guess he's just changing his bed. So this is pretty awesome. Man, they're beautiful deer. I'm just loving this. This is like a mule deer Shangri-La for me. So he's kind of hidden in the weeds a little bit now. So not a great big buck, but a nice looking buck. Well, I went up in this canyon where I've seen nice bucks in the past, only to find this guy's a one-antler deer. So he's a 4 on one and 0 on the other, and he's going away now. Out at Bailey Springs on the 29th, I was hoping to find a nice buck, but this is the only buck I've seen so far. He's right at the spring, and he's going away now. Down above Panaca, there's a bunch of little bucks, and this is the biggest buck I could come up with, and I've been chasing him for probably about 40 minutes trying to get close to him. So he's a nice 4-pointer. It looks like maybe a 5x5 chasing does. But he's the nicest one. All the other bucks have been, nice little 3 points. And he finally slowed down enough for me where I could get video of him just walking along the skyline. So Not a great big buck, but another nice buck. There's sure some nice ones videotape after the season's over. He's just moseying along. He's kind of leaving the does. I guess none of them are in heat. Well, there's about 5 or 6 bucks right in here the size of this one. But this was the easiest one to videotape. And he might be the biggest. He looks like a nice big 4-point. It's almost the same spot. A couple of days ago, I videotaped a buck battle. There's bucks and does everywhere in here. He's a nice one. Nice big 4-point. Up above Echo on the 29th of November. Well, I tried sneaking on this guy and his does. Here's not a great big buck, but here's a straight up tall rack buck in Rose Valley this morning with his does. I think there's another buck with him, but I didn't see him. I couldn't hold steady on this guy of the fields in Panaca on the 30th. He just moseying along in the brush. Nice buck. I don't know if it's the same one I got the other day or not. Well, here he is again on the skyline. I wasn't getting close to him. He's following the doe along the skyline. He's a nice mature buck. Probably just a big 4-point on the 30th of November above the fields in Panaca. I don't know if he's the same one I got the other day or not. Going over now. Eagle Valley on the 3rd of December. Not a big buck, but here's a nice buck, and he's framed with a doe. So, first buck of the morning. He's not a great buck, but he's a nice looking buck. Caliente, not quite as big as last year's bucks, but here's a nice big buck in somebody's yard with his does. He's a pretty nice buck, and he's got a smaller buck with him. I'll get a video of him in a minute. But nothing spectacular, but just a nice big 4-point. And he's going through behind a brush pile now, or wood pile. Yeah, and he's got a small 3-point that's with him, plus a bunch of does. So, kind of moseying on now. I was hoping to find a big buck today. And this is probably about as big as I'm going to get. It's December 4th in Caliente, Nevada. Well, I couldn't resist. I came back to check on this buck, and he didn't leave after all. He just bedded down, sound asleep. A nice buck, not a care in the world. I think he's awake now. He probably hears me talking. But he's a nice one, and I'll just drive on and leave him be. Well, I got a brutal buck fight going. It looks like this little 4-point and Fork and Horn decided to do a little sparring. That's about all I get when I want to find a buck fight, is something like this going on. Yeah, that was a real bad battle there. And it looks like they're done. Although I never did see this guy, this is a picture of a nice 6x6 buck that was in Rose Valley this year. And I heard that a hunter that was possessing the 2018 Silver State tag harvested this deer in December. So just a nice big non-typical 6x6 muley buck. Doggone it, he was bedded down, but he got up. Here's a nice buck in Panaca this morning on the 6th of December. So I've been down here a couple of times. It's probably one of the ones I've seen previously. And he's kind of heading into the brush now. Yeah, there's a couple of smaller bucks with him. Here's one, and there's the other. So the bigger bucks with the does and these other two. And this guy looks like he's a one-antlered deer. So, deer in Panaca this morning. Oh, about 7 in the morning. Yes, I can go back over on the other. Yeah, he's in the brush, so you can't get a good look at his antlers, but he's not as big as the other buck, but he's a decent buck too. Well, I don't know if I'm on him. There's 2 bucks following this doe up in Rose Valley. I don't know where the other one went to. Yeah, there he is, coming up behind. Well, I had to videotape this. I'm up in Rose Valley looking for deer, and I'm driving down the road. And I've run into a wild horse traffic jam. This is kind of a first for me. I've never run into a traffic jam before out here. I wonder where they're going. There's an awful lot of them. There's about, this must be the stallion bringing up the rear. I guess I'll follow them a little way, see where they're going. This is on the back road from Rose Valley to Modena, up toward what they call Prohibition Flats. But I thought it was kind of fun. I'm herding wild horses this morning. If BLM could see me now, they'd probably ticket me for harassing the wild horses. Kind of fun. They're not in too much of a hurry to get off the road. So I thought this is pretty funny. I'm going to let them go. I'm not going to follow them anymore. I don't know where they're headed. But a whole bunch of wild horses running down the middle of the road in Rose Valley this morning.